The Amazon rainforest loomed vast and impenetrable, a sea of green stretching to the horizon. Nestled within its depths, hidden from prying eyes and satellite surveillance, stood the Helix Research Facility. Dr. Cleo Sagan stepped off the unmarked helicopter, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. The air was thick with humidity and the cacophony of jungle life, but as she approached the sleek, almost alien structure of the facility, an eerie silence fell. Dr. Sagan had been handpicked for this classified project, her expertise in xenobiology making her the perfect candidate to lead the groundbreaking research into human-alien symbiosis. As she entered the facility's decontamination chamber, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was crossing a threshold from which there was no return. The airlock hissed open, revealing a sterile, white corridor that contrasted sharply with the lush green world outside. Axel Flux, the facility's head of security, greeted her with a nod. His muscular frame and cybernetic enhancements hinted at the cutting-edge nature of the project. "Dr. Sagan, welcome to Bioforge," he said, his voice a low rumble. "We've been expecting you." As they walked, Cleo noticed the subtle sheen of biotech implants beneath Axel's skin, a testament to the advanced research already underway. The facility buzzed with activity, scientists and technicians moving purposefully through the corridors. Dr. Felix Nano, a brilliant geneticist with wild, unkempt hair, fell into step beside them. "Dr. Sagan, it's an honor," he said, his eyes gleaming with barely contained enthusiasm. "Your work on cross-species genetic compatibility was the foundation for our breakthroughs here." As they approached the main laboratory, Cleo's attention was drawn to a young woman with vibrant, color-shifting hair. Indigo Flux, Axel's sister and the facility's lead bioengineer, was adjusting settings on a massive, pulsating tank. Inside, something moved, something that defied easy classification. Cleo's breath caught in her throat as she realized she was looking at the future of human evolution. Little did she know, the true nature of this future was far more complex and dangerous than she could have imagined. Days blurred into weeks as Dr. Cleo Sagan immersed herself in the Bioforge project. The facility's lower levels housed a menagerie of alien life forms, each more bizarre and fascinating than the last. Cleo worked tirelessly, analyzing the symbiotic potential of these organisms and their compatibility with human DNA. The breakthroughs came rapidly, each success bringing them closer to the ultimate goal of human-alien hybridization. One evening, as Cleo pored over genetic sequences, Indigo Flux burst into the lab, her color-shifting hair a frantic swirl of hues. "Dr. Sagan, you need to see this," she said, breathless with excitement. In the primary testing chamber, a volunteer test subject was undergoing the first full-scale merger with an alien organism. The man's skin rippled and shifted, taking on a blue-green iridescence. His eyes, now enlarged and multifaceted, darted around the room with newfound acuity. As the days progressed, more volunteers underwent the process. Each emergence brought new marvels and unforeseen complications. Some subjects developed extraordinary abilities, enhanced strength, telepathy, rapid healing. Others struggled with their newfound forms, their minds unable to fully reconcile with their altered bodies. The atmosphere in the facility grew tense, a palpable mix of scientific excitement and moral unease. Dr. Felix Nano's behavior became increasingly erratic. Cleo often found him muttering to himself, scribbling complex equations that seemed to defy conventional mathematics. When confronted, Felix would smile cryptically and say, "We're on the cusp of something greater than we ever imagined, Cleo. The future is calling to us." His words sent a chill down her spine, though she couldn't articulate why. Axel Flux, ever vigilant, began to notice discrepancies in the facility's security logs. Equipment went missing, and there were unexplained power fluctuations in restricted areas. When he brought his concerns to Dr. Sagan, she felt a knot form in her stomach. "Something's not right here, Doc," Axel said, his cybernetic eye whirring as it scanned the room. "I think we're being manipulated, but I can't figure out by whom." As if in response to his words, the lights flickered ominously, and for a moment, Cleo could have sworn she saw shadows move of their own accord. The situation at the Helix research facility reached a boiling point when one of the test subjects, a woman named Lyra, broke out of containment. Her body had become a writhing mass of tentacles and bioluminescent patches, her mind a jumble of human and alien thoughts. As alarms blared throughout the complex, Dr. Cleo Sagan and Axel Flux raced to contain the situation. They found Lyra in the main atrium, her new form pulsating with otherworldly energy. "The future," she babbled, her voice a discordant chorus. "It's here, it's there, it's everywhere." As Axel attempted to subdue Lyra, Dr. Felix Nano emerged from the shadows, his eyes wild with a fervent gleam. "Don't you see?" he shouted over the chaos. "This is the next step. We're evolving beyond our limited forms." Cleo watched in horror as Felix willingly allowed Lyra's tentacles to envelop him, initiating an unsanctioned merger. The sight of her colleague being consumed by the alien biomass sent shockwaves of revulsion and fascination through Cleo's mind. Indigo Flux arrived on the scene, her hair a tempest of colors mirroring the frenetic energy around them. She carried a prototype containment device, a last-ditch effort to control the situation. As Cleo and Indigo worked to activate the device, Axel engaged in a desperate struggle with the merged form of Lyra and Felix. The creature lashed out with impossible strength, its limbs elongating and reshaping with fluid ease. Axel's cybernetic enhancement sparked and sputtered under the assault, pushing him to his limits. In the midst of the melee, the facility's systems began to malfunction. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing cascading streams of data and fragmented images of what appeared to be future events. Cleo caught glimpses of evolved human forms, advanced civilizations, and cataclysmic disasters. The realization hit her like a physical blow. They weren't just changing the present, they were altering the entire course of human evolution. As the containment field finally stabilized around the Lyra-Felix hybrid, a new presence made itself known. A figure stepped out of thin air, their body a perfect blend of human and alien characteristics. "Dr. Sagan," the being said, its voice resonating with otherworldly harmonics. "We've been waiting a long time for this moment." Cleo's mind reeled as she realized she was face to face with a representative of the future, the culmination of the very process they had set in motion. The laboratory fell silent, the air thick with tension, and the promise of revelations that would shatter their understanding of reality. In the aftermath of the chaotic confrontation, the Helix research facility fell into an uneasy calm. The being from the future, who introduced itself as Nexus, began to reveal the true nature of the Bioforge project. Dr. Cleo Sagan listened with a mixture of fascination and horror, as Nexus explained that they were part of a faction of evolved humans who had orchestrated the entire experiment. "We are the shepherds of our own evolution," Nexus said, its voice a hypnotic blend of tones. "The merging of human and alien DNA was always meant to happen, Dr. Sagan. We simply accelerated the process." As the facility's staff worked to contain the damage and stabilize the merged subjects, Cleo found herself grappling with the ethical implications of their work. Axel Flux, his cybernetics repaired but his trust shaken, kept a watchful eye on Nexus and the other evolved beings who had begun to appear throughout the complex. Indigo Flux threw herself into analyzing the new data, her natural curiosity overriding her fear of the unknown. The lines between ally and threat, present and future, blurred with each passing hour. Dr. Felix Nano, separated from Lyra but forever changed by the merger, became a bridge between the scientists and the evolved humans. His enhanced mind could now grasp concepts that had previously been beyond human comprehension. "We're standing at a crossroads of species, Cleo," he said, his eyes swirling with alien patterns. "The question is, are we ready for the responsibility that comes with it?" His words haunted Cleo as she worked tirelessly to understand the full scope of the changes they had set in motion. As days passed, more revelations came to light. The evolved humans revealed that the Amazon rainforest itself was an ancient alien construct, a living laboratory designed to shepherd Earth's life towards a cosmic destiny. The facility had been built on a nexus point of bioenergy, explaining the accelerated results of their experiments. Cleo realized that every flora and fauna sample they had studied was part of a grand, interconnected system far beyond their initial understanding. The world outside remained unaware of the monumental shifts occurring within the hidden facility. Governments and corporations continued their daily operations, oblivious to the fact that the future of humanity was being reshaped in the heart of the Amazon. Cleo, along with Axel and Indigo, found themselves becoming reluctant guardians of a secret that could either elevate humanity to unimaginable heights or plunge it into chaos. As they prepared to face the consequences of their actions, a new crisis loomed on the horizon, one that would test their newfound knowledge and force them to decide the fate of human evolution. The crisis Cleo and her team had been bracing for arrived with devastating swiftness. A global conglomerate, having caught wind of the Bioforge project, launched a covert operation to seize control of the facility and its groundbreaking research. As mercenary forces converged on the Amazon, Cleo realized that the future of human evolution hung in the balance. With time running out, she made a decision that would alter the course of history. Collaborating with Nexus and the evolved humans, Cleo initiated a plan to disseminate the Bioforge process on a global scale. Axel Flux, despite his reservations, utilized his cybernetic enhancements to hack into worldwide communication networks. Indigo Flux and Dr. Felix Nano worked feverishly to refine the merger process, ensuring it could be safely transmitted to willing participants around the world. As the mercenaries breached the outer defenses of the facility, Cleo stood before the facility's central biocomputer. With trembling hands, she activated the worldwide transmission. Across the globe, millions of volunteers who had been carefully selected and prepared began to undergo the transformation. The Amazon itself seemed to pulse with energy, the ancient alien structures activating to amplify the signal. The evolved humans revealed the final piece of the puzzle. Their presence was not just from the future, but from multiple potential futures. "We are the sum of all possible paths humanity could take," Nexus explained, as the facility shook from explosions. "By merging with us, humanity ensures its survival across all timelines." Cleo watched in awe as the evolved humans began to fade, their mission complete, their existence now interwoven with the present. As dawn broke over the Amazon, the world had irrevocably changed. The Bioforge process had taken root in populations across the planet, initiating a new chapter in human evolution. Cleo, Axel, Indigo, and Felix emerged from the facility to find the mercenary forces retreating, their weapons useless against the newly evolved humans. The Amazon rainforest stirred with new life, its true nature as an alien crucible of evolution finally fulfilled. Cleo looked up at the sky, her enhanced senses perceiving the vast cosmos in a way she never could before. The future they had forged was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril, but it was a future where humanity would face the universe as a united, evolved species. As the first light of this new era washed over her, Cleo realized that their work had only just begun.